All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to be talking about income statements this week. Last week we talked about balance sheets, and an income statement, we're going to be looking at revenue, expenses, and then finding out if our company has a net income or if we actually have a net loss. Now, moving on to the next thing, what we want to take a look at today, we would have seen this last week, the 8 most important facts to know before you invest in a company. And these sections in red, revenue, net income, profit margin, debt to equity ratio, and price to earnings ratio, also known as the PE ratio, are going to be items that we're going to be able to find on the income statement. So moving on for us today, we're going to see that last week we would have had these exact same things. So we're going to find out who cares about a company's financial records. Who cares if your company is making money and spending money and how much money they're spending in different places? We find that we've got investors, managers, and also creditors that want to see what's going on. And we would have touched on that last week as well. So again, from last week, we've got 4 basic financial statements. That is a really good idea to understand if you're involved with any kind of business at all. Last week we did balance sheet. This week we're going to talk about an income statement. So with our income statement, if we take a look at Paul's Guitar Shop, it's going to show the operating results, past income performance, and expenses that can be evaluated. So you can see that we've got revenue, expenses, and then right down here, it's getting cut off for me a little bit again, is going to be our net income. So when we look at these things, our revenue is going to be our money that we receive from business activity. Our expenses are items that need to be paid to run the business. And then our net income or our net loss is going to be the amount of money left over after subtracting the expenses from the revenue. So if we take a look real fast, we can see that Paul actually makes money from 2 different places. We would call this 2 different revenue streams. So he actually makes money from selling merchandise, the most money, and he also makes money from giving music lessons. What we're also going to see is something on here called cost of goods sold. So what would you imagine is going to be cost of goods sold for something like Paul's Guitar Shop? You may have never heard of it before, but just listen to the words cost of goods sold and imagine what that would be. So let's say that we're talking about a new guitar that Paul's going to sell. Well, as you can imagine, it's going to cost him money to actually buy that guitar to then sell. So that's a quick example of something that's going to go in cost of goods sold. And then right down here at the bottom, and it's getting cut off for us, but we've actually got a net income right down here at the bottom. And what we have going on is our revenue of $27,800 minusing our total expenses of $14,850, and we find out that we actually have a net income of $12,050, and I apologize that that's cut off for you right down there. So this picture might help you out just a little bit more. It's the exact same income statement that we would have seen. And over here on the left, this is going to be our formula that we're always going to use. So if we find out that when we take revenue minus expenses, if it's a positive number, that's going to be net income. And if it's negative, that's going to be known as net loss. So we've got our revenue, our expenses, and then you can see our net income is going to be $12,950. And before we go for today, just wanted to show you real quick a sample of a corporate income statement. You can see this is going to be for ExxonMobil Corporation, and the date ending is September 30th, 2018. So just kind of take a look at it for us real quick and notice some of the differences that you're going to see. Take a look and see that the headings are going to be a little bit different on our basic income statement. We really just had the word revenue and expenses, and you can see here that it changes to revenue and other incomes. And then also you're going to observe the note at the top, and these numbers are represented in millions of dollars. So that's kind of an interesting thing to take a look at as well. We're going to wrap this up today with working on a practice income statement and answering a couple questions in this Schoology activity.